Have you ever experienced the feeling that no matter how much you contribute in this video, I'm revealing the subtle ways a woman may be using you, signs you've probably never noticed before, because knowing these could save you from years of heartbreak on the convenience communication style. It's never enough. The harsh truth is that some women are experts at taking without giving anything back. When a woman is using you, she doesn't communicate consistently or honestly. Her calls are erratic, her texts are intermittent, and her availability is only predictable when she needs something. Don't confuse this with true busyness. Imagine this. You send her a considerate message asking the convenience communication trap about her day, and after waiting for hours, you receive a response that is frequently brief or dismissive, with no attempt to continue the conversation. However, the moment she needs something, whether it's a ride, a favor, or someone to vent to, she suddenly becomes receptive, affectionate, and even overly attentive, and her tone completely changes when it serves her agenda. She keeps you in her life as a resource, not as a person, and your kindness and attentiveness aren't returned because you're not her priority. Rather, you're her convenience. She probably spends more time with other people or activities and only returns to you when it suits her. This inconsistency can leave you feeling confused and undervalued, which feeds a cycle of hope and disappointment where you cling to the infrequent times she pays you attention, believing they're signs of progress. Avoiding emotional intimacy. But in actuality, you're being stretched beyond what you should do, so test her intentions by putting some distance between you and her and seeing how she responds when you stop striking up a conversation. While a user will simply move on to the next convenient source, a woman who values you will sense your absence and try to reconnect. Set boundaries, Aries, and prioritize mutually beneficial connections to safeguard your time and energy. She stays away from emotional closeness. A woman who is using you will keep the relationship superficial. Emotional intimacy is a crucial indicator of a sincere bond, and a user will deliberately steer clear of it. When you try to talk to her about your life, your objectives, or your feelings, she immediately shifts the topic or delivers evasive answers, focusing instead on her own wants, problems, or desires. It seems like interactions with her are always one-sided or superficial. She expects you to support her way of life. She may go on and on about her awful workday, but she doesn't seem really interested when you share something personal and what it means. A woman who is using you has no interest in developing that kind of relationship. Opening up to you isn't worth the investment because she doesn't see you as someone she wants a deep bond with. Instead, you are there to satisfy her immediate needs. Emotional intimacy demands vulnerability and effort, not to have a deep connection with the whole picture. She uses this avoidance of emotional closeness to keep you at arm's length while still benefiting from your attention and supporting your actions, making you feel like a stand-in who she spends time with when it's convenient but never completely lets in. Give up attempting to impose a closer bond with someone who is obviously avoiding it. In today's world, some women have perfected the art of entitlement, especially when it comes to money. If she's using you, focus your energy on people who truly want to get to know you and share their lives with you. A high-value man doesn't waste time on relationships that are superficial. The issue of financial dependence keeps coming up. She seems to constantly bring up her financial issues or complain about how expensive life is. It may begin modestly, such as asking for assistance with a bill or expecting you to pay for dates every time. But as time goes on, she begins to imply that you should buy her presents, pay her rent, or finance her shopping spree. If you don't comply, she may guilt-trip you by questioning your generosity or commitment, which indicates that she has a transactional mindset and views your financial resources as a perk of being with you rather than as something to respect or value. In her eyes, you're a provider, not a partner. This is particularly common with women who value materialism over a sincere connection, keeping you as a backup plan. Psychological toll over time, this habit can deplete you emotionally and financially. You may begin to believe that your worth is solely determined by your wallet, which can cause resentment and self-doubt about what you should do. Clearly define your financial bounds. Generosity is a noble quality, but it should never be demanded or one-sided. A lady who respects you would value your efforts rather than expect them. Her genuine intentions will become clear if you see how she responds when you say no. 4. She disappears when you need support. One of the most obvious indicators that someone is being used is when they don't reciprocate. When you're having a hard day and you reach out to her for comfort, she's either too busy or responds generically, saying things like, "Sorry to hear that, I hope it gets better." But when she has a problem, she expects you to abandon her. What it means to use flattery to manipulate you in every way and save her. This behavior indicates that she is only interested in a one-sided dynamic. She is willing to take from you, but is unwilling to give anything in return. True partners help one another through tough times, but a woman who is abusing you will constantly fail to do so. Over time, the impact of being abandoned can make you feel alone and unimportant, and you may begin to wonder if you are asking for too much when, in fact, she is the one who is not meeting fundamental relationship standards. What you ought to do is cease serving as her emotional support system. 5. She keeps you around as a backup. With the popularity of dating apps and social media, it's easier than ever to keep choices open. If she doesn't want to be there for you when you need her, she doesn't deserve your time or energy. Prioritize partnerships where support flows both ways. You are probably not a woman's first choice if she is abusing you. You are her safety net. It appears that she utilizes evasive justifications like, "I'm not ready for something serious," or "I just want to see where this goes yet," to avoid defining the relationship. Using the victim to gain power. You anticipate that you will arrange dates like a lover would. She's hedging her bets by keeping you in her orbit while actively looking for better possibilities, which is what it means to give her attention and remain faithful. This is a deceptive strategy to make sure she always has someone to turn to in the event that her other endeavors don't work out. Maintaining this dynamic might damage your self-esteem because you deserve to be someone's top priority rather than their backup plan. Ask her what she really wants with clarity, and if her response is vague or uncommittal, be ready to go. A woman using you doesn't seek your company because she values your presence. Rather, it appears that you fill a void in her schedule. Her texts and calls frequently occur at strange times, such as late at night or on the weekend, when she has nothing better to do. Instead, she makes an effort to arrange meaningful outings or spend quality time with you. A man doesn't settle for being an option 6. When she's obviously bored, she will text you to ask how you're doing or if you're free. These exchanges frequently feel transactional, with her seeking amusement or approval, which indicates that you're not a priority. You're a filler. She's not actually enjoying your company. Rather, she's using you to pass the time or ease her loneliness. This conduct is particularly prevalent among women who are emotionally unavailable or balancing several commitments. Over time, you might begin to doubt your value and wonder why you're never her first option. The psychological impact on you could make you feel like a thought person she only turns to when no one else is available. What you ought to do is cease being the default choice. If she genuinely appreciates you, she would prioritize your time with you and make an effort to connect meaningfully, even though she hardly ever acknowledges or compliments your sincere relationships. Tell her that your time is valuable and shouldn't be taken for granted. Thrive on reciprocal gratitude, but a woman who takes advantage of you will minimize your contributions while hiding her life from you. Despite your repeated compliments about how she looks, she hardly ever thanks you for your efforts, whether they are minor, like purchasing her favorite coffee, or major, like helping her move. She rarely gives compliments, and when she does, it comes across as forced or hesitant. At the same time, she expects you to constantly compliment her appearance, accomplishments, or personality. This imbalance shows that she doesn't genuinely care about elevating you or seeing your worth, because to her, you are merely a tool. By refusing to give you compliments, she keeps you working harder for her approval, which keeps you in control of the larger picture. Mutual respect and appreciation are the foundation of a healthy relationship. If you are the one giving and never receiving, the dynamic is distorted, and you should intentionally call out the imbalance. Inform her that you've seen her lack of gratitude and watch her response. A woman who respects you will pay attention to what you have to say and try to express her appreciation when she... Closing thoughts. Reclaim your power. Guilt is one of the most effective tools in a manipulator's toolbox, and a woman who is abusing you knows exactly how to use it. She plays the victim whenever you try to set boundaries or pull away, saying things like, "I thought you cared about me," or "I guess I can't count on anyone." This is emotional manipulation, plain and simple. She doesn't care about finding a solution or understanding your point of view. Instead, she uses your sense of empathy and decency to make you feel like the bad guy for putting yourself first. She wants to maintain control by making you feel guilty, and she makes sure you stay in the relationship even when it's draining you. Over time, living under constant GI can make you feel trapped and helpless, which erodes your self-esteem and makes it more difficult to leave a toxic situation. What you should do is acknowledge guilt tripping as a ploy rather than an accurate representation of reality. Don't allow her to control your feelings and maintain your limits. A high-worth man is aware of the distinction between deliberate guilt and sincere worry. Relationships require work from both parties, but a woman who is using you will always put in the bare minimum while expecting you to go above and beyond what it appears. She rarely makes plans or thinks about your time together. Dates are frequently paid for by you, and she shows little enthusiasm or gratitude. Even small gestures like texting first or asking how your day is going feel like a chore to her. You're always carrying the relationship while she benefits. What it signifies. Her lack of investment is evident in her lack of effort. She is happy to let you handle all the labor while she takes advantage of the benefits. She has no interest in creating anything significant. Women who see relationships as transactional rather than emotional are particularly prone to this dynamic. Being the only provider in a relationship can have long-term effects that leave you feeling exhausted and undervalued. It also creates a pattern where you give all the time and never receive anything in return, which isn't sustainable. Stop trying too hard to make up for her lack of effort. Inform her that partnerships require reciprocity and watch her reaction. If she refuses to take the initiative, it's time to end the relationship. Although openness is the foundation of trust, a woman who is abusing you will go to great lengths to keep her personal life private while still demanding complete access to yours. She avoids introducing you to her friends or family, gives evasive answers about her plans, and hardly ever shares specifics about her past or future goals. In the meantime, she expects you to be an open book, disclosing everything from your daily routine to your deepest fears. What it signifies. This lack of openness is concerning. By keeping you in the dark, she maintains control and makes sure you stay at a distance. The emotional impact of being cut off from someone's life can make you feel disconnected and unworthy. It also creates a power imbalance where she holds all the cards, leaving you to speculate about her true intentions. It indicates that she is either hiding something or doesn't think you are important enough to share her life with. What you ought to do: demand openness. Ask her open-ended questions about her life and see how she responds. Whereas a user would avoid or become defensive, a lady who values you will be forthright and honest. Never accept partial truths or secrecy. Clarity is non-negotiable, gentlemen. Remember that you deserve respect and effort from both parties in any relationship. Don't settle for less. Recognize your value and safeguard your energy. Have you ever noticed these symptoms? Tell us about it in the comments section and don't forget to like it. Additionally, subscribe for more insightful content.